It looks like Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down from her role as president of LucasFilm. Many Star Wars fans will jubilate. We told you about it a little while ago, but now the mainstream media has finally caught up. Welcome to the Tachyon Pulse podcast.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.
So, during the day, it has been widely reported in several major news outlets that Kathleen Kennedy has told her colleagues at work that she's going to be retiring at the end of 2025. Now, we told you a little while ago that actually her contract is up in the next couple of months. We hear it was the second quarter of this year, so April sort of time, and that she was not negotiating a new contract. We told you that she would be taking another role within Disney, and I'm actually being told that that is still the case, but it'll be some sort of quite minor role or on the board or something like that, that she will not just be fully retiring, that she's kind of getting a bit of a golden parachute. What does this mean for Lucasfilm? Well, there are several rumours already shooting around that George Lucas is coming back. He isn't. I'm told that that is just wishful thinking from Star Wars fans. I'm also told, though, that actually there is a plan for somebody that's actually already within Lucasfilm to sort of step up to the president role. Now, get into the comments and tell me who you think that will be. I think there's quite a few people that could be, but at the end of the day, we don't know for certain. Why is Kathleen Kennedy saying she's going to be retiring at the end of 2025 and not April when her contract runs out? Again, I hear it is simply going to be so they can have a nice transition period, and that there are a couple of projects that Kathleen Kennedy is hoping to do a little bit more work on before she steps down fully. So, will Star Wars fans be pleased about this news? I think on the whole, yes. Look, tell you guys a million times, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. I do adore it, but I don't obsess on it like many of you guys do. I'm a Trekkie. But Star Wars and Star Trek have had similar problems over the last few years, in that the leadership has maybe not been the leadership we would want, that they've not necessarily been as in love with the franchise as we are. For Trekkies, it's Alex Kurtzman. For Star Wars fans, it's Kathleen Kennedy. And even though a lot of Star Wars fans blame her directly for the problems in Star Wars over the last few years, it's not necessarily fair. In the same way that we blame Kurtzman for everything that goes wrong with Star Trek, and again, it's not always fair. Star Wars has had some really big successes, but it's also had some ridiculous failures. The Acolyte recently was terrible. The recent trilogy was not great, even though I enjoyed bits of it. We have had successes with things like The Mandalorian, and things like Ashoka even was actually really enjoyable. I enjoyed Skeleton Key. We're about to get the second season of Andor. The main reason, though, that Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down now isn't just because she's 71 years old and wants to retire. It is because of those major problems. Now, as I told you a couple of months ago, we're told that Disney don't necessarily blame her for a lot of those problems. As I say, it's not always fair to blame the person at the top. But at the end of the day, they are responsible. When your production company spends $600 million on 2 seasons of Andor, it better be an amazing show that does brilliantly. I just hit the remote controller, hit the microphone, that does brilliantly in the ratings. I mean, it has to be one of the biggest shows of the year. Andor was popular enough. It was critically acclaimed. But was it $600 million? Not really. Obviously, they spent ridiculous money on a couple of the movies as well. Now, The other big problem is that Disney sort of tasked Kathleen Kennedy a few years ago now with making Lucasfilm more than just about Star Wars. She tried to do Willow. She tried to get hold of a couple of other projects, but none of them ever panned out. Willow was a complete shit show, let's be honest. I actually couldn't stand Willow. I love Warwick Davis. He was terrible in it. I don't know if that even happens, but he was awful. I don't ever think I actually watched the end. No, I think I did, but I don't think I realised it had ended because it didn't really make sense. But anyway, Lucasfilm was supposed to be expanded. They were supposed to find new projects. It didn't work. And that is one of the major problems Disney actually had, that Kathleen Kennedy couldn't do that. Now, she's retiring. She's going to leave with a distinctly decent wage packet and pension plan, I should imagine. I, again, am hearing she'll be doing some sort of consultancy role or something else within Disney. But it does seem that she's gone. Now, when I dropped this news, we got loads of comments saying she'll only be carried out by her feet first. And we actually told you, look, we were pretty confident unless something went horribly wrong that she would be going. This just really confirms that. As soon as the big newspapers and things start getting this, you can pretty much take it to the bank. Kathleen Kennedy is gone. But guys, get into the comments and tell me what you think. Is this a good thing? Are you happy? As I say, there's been some big problems with Star Wars, big canon problems, but there's been some big successes as well. Mandalorian became a phenomenon, and if you blame her for what went wrong, you also have to surely give her a nod for what went right. You can't have it both ways. So, get into the comments and tell me, on balance, what sort of a job did Kathleen Kennedy actually do for Star Wars? I would give her, out of 10, 5, maybe 6. And I think that's being really fair, because she didn't expand the studio, but more importantly, the movies weren't great, and I couldn't stand Solo. I really disliked it. I know it had loads and loads of problems, but I really disliked it. I thought it was boring, which is just the cardinal sin as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to give her 4. It's just 4 out of 10 for me. Alex Kurtzman gets a 2. What do you think? How would you score her out of 10 for her tenure as president of Lucasfilm? Get into the comments. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can join the channel and get to see most of our videos first for a small fee that really supports us. Go check that out. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.